When that lack of intimacy hits and you schedule a doctor's appointment twice a week just to feel like you have someone that cares about you, that doesn't seem to be a problem any kind of way because you got Friday and you're all here at Insert Title Here. Joining me this evening is Darnell Quigley. How are you doing, Darnell?
I'm great, my man. How about you?
Well, it is Friday. Finally, it's the weekend, and the weather has broken just a little bit, that it is chilly and a little bit of rain, which is definitely needed.
Beautiful.
Oh, I know. Poor Louisiana.
It's 100 fucking degrees here today.
Yeah, what's the real feel?
100. Oh, fuck off. Heat index is 105.
Thank you.
There you go.
I recommend living in a place that God doesn't hate.
Yes. Also joining us is Arza. How you doing, Arza?
I'm doing just fine. How you doing, Emerald?
Well, it's one of those days. It's the weekend. I'm just ready for it. Also joining us this evening is Jay. How are you doing, Jay?
Doing well. Glad to be here with all you fine folks on a Friday night. Thank God for that. We're sick and tired of this week. Let's put it in the past and enjoy the weekend.
Well, how are we going to create content if we can't mine the week for some interesting topics? We can't forget about the week. I mean, it's been an interesting week.
There's been a lot going on this week.
Oh, yeah.
Also joining us is Tiny but Fierce. How you doing, Tiny?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing pretty well. I was just realizing once again that we all need to learn better intro etiquette because we always say something like, I'm doing fine. How are you? And we all go back to you every time, Emerald, and you've got to come up with another thing to say for each of us.
Right?
We're going to work on that.
That's the only way to do it. What are you talking about? That's the best thing to do.
No, that's polite in person, not on a panel.
Right.
Well, it's not like anything.
Tiny's not going to kick it back to me asking how my week was. So thank you, Tiny.
I'll do it. How was yours?
Also joining us is Full Metal Nate. How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing pretty good. Just hanging on like a hair in a biscuit, dude.
Hair on a biscuit.
All right, Nate.
Just move on. I'm trying very hard not to say how are you.
Once when I lived in Texas, but I'm not sure.
I'm trying very hard to say I'm trying very hard not to say how are you. You just did. You just did. God damn it.
Gotcha.
Don't use my name in vain.
Right.
We've already discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week, whether you're watching politics or you've been watching the riots that have been happening around the U.S., or if you've been watching the crackdown, which, again, I really do think that... I didn't know you were going to clue into that. I just knew it. You were going to... What kind of crack? Anyway, so the crackdown, which actually I don't think Trump is going far enough. I really do think if you really look at the open rebellion, California and a lot of major cities are technically in open rebellion. The moment that the local government or the governor refuses to assist the federal government and just protecting and keeping things civilized, you're now in open rebellion if you are pushing against it.
I blame her.
You blame me for the open rebellion in California?
She's in California.
Yes, I could have sworn I've seen her out there. Yeah.
She's leading it.
Well, no, it's no. Her sign says send them all back. So I don't think she started then.
Yeah.
No.
She's in her wheelchair when she's doing it.
Yeah.
I almost went downtown in the chair, and then they were like there were 60,000 people. I'm like, I'm not facing that in the chair. I'm going home.
Maybe I shouldn't go.
Yeah. Not once.
Devastator, how are you doing, Devastator?
Autobots,
Hey,
we're
Devastator.
getting the fuck out of here.
No, it's I
No,
I
but
don't
you're
think
absolutely
I
right.
will.
It is open rebellion.
It is open rebellion. Do I think we are going to see the same level of violence that we had and destruction in cities that we had in 2020? I don't think so. I don't think Trump is going to allow that to get to that point.
I hope not.
So far, I mean, granted, they were really quick to celebrate the Supreme Court, not the Supreme Court, but the district court going, yeah, give control back to the governor. And like 3 hours later, the appeals court came back. No, he still controls it. So, and on top of that, that came out of the Ninth Circuit. And anyone that really knows the U.S. in in the court system, the Ninth Circuit is also referred to as the Ninth Circus because of how liberal and it is. But it sided with Trump in that, he gets to remain in control of the National Guard. And I have a feeling that if it goes in front of the Supreme Court, they're going to probably rule in favor of Trump as well.
Well, someone's got to stop all those maniacs.
I've never understood how any of the official sanctuary cities and sanctuary states were ever allowed to exist to begin with. They are completely and utterly unconstitutional by definition. And I say that as someone who grew up in one and now lives in another.
Liberals don't care about the Constitution.
And at the time that Joe Biden run the show, so.
Well, no, but most of the sanctuary city stuff was happening in like the early 2000s.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's when it really started. Like New York has been sanctuary city since I was in high school, at least.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. Also joining us over there is Shaky Balls.
Well, if that's the case, then why is it so prevalent like now?
Because of the resistance
I'll be honest, for a long time and in a lot of ways, ICE was not really doing its job. And in a lot, and when it did do its job, it did it in the most dick way possible. They were cowards. They went after easy access people instead of going after the really bad guys. A lot of the time, not all the time, not everywhere, but a lot of the time. And in sanctuary cities, the idea was if you're going to school, if you're working a job, if you're a decent member of society, I shouldn't be bothering you when there's bad guys out there. They should be taken care of. So we're going to protect you. We're not going to let them take you. We're not going to, if you get arrested for like a speeding ticket or something, we're not going to let them know that you didn't have papers. That type of thing was how it started, at least in New York.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a kid who was about to graduate valedictorian of his high school and got a full ride to college, and they went and picked him up the day before graduation. Are you fucking kidding me? There's MS-16 3 blocks down the road from where he lives, and you're picking up this kid? I understood sort of the ideas behind why it was happening when they were first voting these things in. Right. But the fact that they were allowed to let it get as bad as it is, and that no one from the federal government ever stepped in and said, no, you don't get to vote these in as a city or a state or anything else.
Right. No. I would not be surprised if Congress doesn't actually finally pass a law fully spelling out that the supremacy of the federal government supersedes states in sanctuary districts and sanctuary states, because we've already seen them kind of start making the steps towards that with calling in the governors of sanctuary states and pulling in governors from some of these sanctuary cities. Yep. I think Congress is moving in a direction that they're going to finally put it in, have to spell it out in law of essentially the supremacy clause when it comes to, no, you can't stop the federal government from coming in and deporting you.
I hope they do, and I hope they do it soon. Because if we don't, if the right doesn't have majority in the House and the Senate, it'll never get passed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now,
like
do they
people
have...
like Padilla? God, I'm so embarrassed.
Do they have
people like that would never ever let that pass if they could stop it.
Do they have the full legal right to arrest these governors if they don't comply?
Well, they should be allowed to.
If one governor specifically, I think, is teetering on being arrested, and that
will they? Probably not, though.
Probably not, but the closest one so far, and it wasn't a governor, it was a mayor, and that's the mayor of Nashville, because he was quite literally putting out the information of raids and putting out the agents' names.
Yeah, that's
trying to use a loophole that it is state law that all public actions get put out there.
Nah, that's just straight up doxing. You can't do that.
No. Yeah.
And I would be fine with the whole point, too, if the federal government also would put in an anti-doxing law. I'm fine with that.
It doesn't stop people from doing it.
Well, no.
No, but if they actually get jail time.
Right. Well, it's the whole point. We've seen so many videos of people that are jumping over counters and stealing all this stuff. It's like, start throwing the book at these people. Stop letting them off. Start throwing the book at them. No plea deals.
Well, that's kind of
Eventually,
like
once that it's the whole broken glass policy that they were doing in New York.
Windows.
You start prosecuting the lower crimes, it will help. It'll help some in reducing crime, and it worked in New York. As much as they wanted to crime racism and that they were doing, it's like, well, there's so many cops in these certain communities. It's like, because that's where your highest crime is. Of course, you would have more law enforcement where there's the more need for it. Are you guys having fun playing with the bot?
Huh?
We're trying.
Yeah,
We're trying.
Your bot's being a dick.
Yeah, it's not
the bot's
responding.
not fully set up. The bot will only do so much, and I'm still trying to figure the bot out. Yes, we do have a Rumble bot that will randomly put my stuff out there, so make you remind you to, let's say, in this case, make sure you hit the like and make sure you hit the like and follow button, or ICE will make a random visit to your house.
Don't tell me my business, devil woman.
Yeah.
Right?
It's poop again.
He called the shit poop.
So we have Mr. VHS Fetish over there.
Who's got a fire going?
Yeah,
Sounds like someone's opening a Snickers.
It's crinkling, yeah.
Someone's like putting in a bottle or something.
Oh. Damn it, Jay.
Okay, so name that candy bar.
Almond Joy.
Nope.
Where's that?
Nope. Guaranteed
Maybe
none
Ruth.
of you will get it.
Maybe Ruth.
Oh no! Oh, we gotta think Canadian. We gotta think Canadian.
Maybe Ruth's
I
got
have no
blue in
idea
it.
what Canadian chocolate.
Think Canadian, but a cheap dollar store.
I don't fucking know any Canadian dollars.
Yeah, you're right.
Crispy.
Oh, crispy.
I've seen those in stores.
Oh no, we
So
got
Nestle's Crunch.
we got those in the
Yeah.
vending machines at my work.
Yeah, it's similar to a Nestle's Crunch, except for it seems to be more in a roll.
It's got like chocolate and peanut butter in the middle. It's fucking
This one's just got like Rice Krispies and chocolate.
okay.
Yeah.
Exactly
Okay.
like
Crunch
Nestle's
bar.
Crunch.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm gonna turn down the mic if that thing is picking that up.
I don't know
Yeah.
Darnell.
No, it was just interesting because we had people saying someone nailed it. I'm not gonna say with it being a candy bar wrapper, and one person was saying, "Oh, it sounds like someone has a fire burning."
Yeah, it sounded like a crackling of a fire.
It did sound like a crackling of
Somebody else
fire.
said water bottle.
fuck
Come
off.
on.
I now, granted, I was not going to say anything on really kind of classifying. I was able to pick up the candy bar, but that's just mean.
Well, I'm
just
sure
sounded-
that they're around here.
It just sounded like you were really struggling with it. Like I heard it. I'm like, man, he's really struggling to get that thing open. Jeez.
I'm trying to make it quiet.
That's how I am with my pants when I'm trying to take them off.
Is it because they're too big or too small?
Yes.
Yes.
I find it better. It's just better not to wear pants.
No, I'm saying like when you know the rare occasion I can, I'm about to get some when I'm taking my pants off. It takes me like a week.
Wow.
Damn.
That sounds
That's
like the
impressive.
flexibility issue.
Impressive, right?
Yeah.
Zipper
it
comes
word.
shooting off like a bullet. It's just gonna give out one day.
With me, nothing comes off like a bullet, Nate.
Oh. Ba-dum-dum.
Thank you.
Devastator asked, "Can we have sanctuary titties?"
Yep.
I'm
Gonna
okay
sit
with
for
that.
president.
I'm game.
I'm game.
He's gay.
That doesn't mean he's still not game.
Why is
Right?
he always letting me?
Right.
That was a joke, Nate. That was the joke, Nate.
Sorry.
I'm game. I'm game. He's gay. Like, because gay sounds like game.
Gay game, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure
I got
Darnell's
it.
really familiar with the gay games.
Right? I've never lost gay chicken.
Ooh, that could be a new version of the Hunger Games.
Oh god. Oh no.
Ooh, it's
Let's not.
fabulous.
Darnell, start working on the theme song.
Let's not give Hollywood any more ideas. I think they
Too late.
Oh, no. Yeah, we'll get this up and going, and then if we just need to find someone that can animate, and then we will release it Pride Month next year.
Next year. Have to start production today in order to get it out next year.
June's almost over, so
Thank God.
and we would have to find an animator, and usually it's the overseas. I mean, so.
I can't believe it's almost July. That's insane.
It is. It is.
Fast.
Way too fast.
So who watched or who? I mean, granted, this is a little bit past because it was last weekend. Who watched any of the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the Army?
Oh, I watched the whole thing.
Did you? I saw a lot of it, and
Texas A&M Corps Cadets, we had a freaking unit marching.
Nice.
I watched portions of it. I did not watch all of it. It was quite interesting to see the leftists out there. First, they were going, this is just what a dictator does. This is such fascism, using all the standard buzzwords. Then once it was done, it going, oh, well, that looked lazy. That didn't look impressive. That didn't, he looked weak. And it's like, because again, this is a celebration of the Army's 250th anniversary. Yeah. It wasn't some kind of, no, it was, these are our troops. And in fact, after that happened, more people enlisted.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not
and the army had already hit its quota for the year a month ago.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not having them march around on the streets just to flex our military might.
The next anniversary.
Also, the funniest thing for me though is the people were talking about the level to which we didn't have precision marching down, and I was like, no, because we have precision fighting down.
Yeah.
And if you look all over the country, all over the world, the armies that have the best marching suck the worst in the field.
That's why North Korea would never win
on the best marchers on the planet.
they would never win a boots on the ground war.
And Russians are really good at marching, and they still haven't taken.
Well, to be fair, Russians actually saved everyone's asses in World War II.
Absolutely,
they did.
They did, but they weren't marching back then.
Fair enough.
True.
The insane precision marking came under the Soviets.
Well, the next major anniversary to come is the Navy, which is October 13th.
Everybody buy your commemorative edible crayons.
Their 250th anniversary.
That's the Marines. The Marines. Ours.
Marine Corps is November.
I'm gonna have Danger Zone on repeat that entire day.
But speaking of which, it's kind of funny too. Every branch of the military has their own song. Mm-hmm. And what we always found hilarious, specifically because the Marines are part of the Navy. They're a department of the Navy, but they are their own armed force.
And we got our own general on the Joint Chiefs of Staff after the Navy screwed over so much during World War II.
That too. But if you look at theirs, it's all the places Marines have gone and kicked ass.
Yep.
All the battles that they've won. What's the Navy's?
Yes.
Getting drunk before having to go out to sea. That's really what it is.
That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a Tuesday.
There's nothing better than a relationship between a Marine Corps father and a Navy son.
Ooh.
The jokes that my dad and I used to throw back and forth at each other was always great. Mm-hmm. Of course, the ones that took the most brunt of it usually was the Army of our ribbing. But then on top of that, then they turned around and put the Coast Guard underneath the umbrella of the military under the DOD. But it's very hard. I will. You want to know what? I will give a little bit of credit to the Coast Guard. I mean, it takes a lot to not real. I mean, to get right out there up to the edge of the ocean and not go into it. I mean, the whole point too. The whole point too. Hey, you want to know what? And on top of that, you got to understand that it's very hard for recruiting for the Coast Guard.
No, it's not.
They have a height requirement.
Oh, true.
You got to be at least 6 foot. So if your boat sinks, you can walk back to shore. I mean,
When my uncle was in the Coast Guard in New York, his job was driving around and stealing fishermen's beer that they weren't supposed to have.
So I got a buddy in the Coast Guard. He actually served in Afghanistan during after 9/11. He actually went over there.
And there's Coast Guard units that do stuff with DEA, and there's all sorts of different stuff. But come on, to the rest of the military, they're the puddle pirates.
It could be the Space Force.
Yep.
Space Force.
That's the Air Force.
I'll admit, the Space Force showed up after I got out of A&M, and so I don't know half the jokes that exist for the Space Force.
Yeah, that's too new of a branch that I think they're still kind of being developed. Once more things.
Nico Ortiz's videos.
No.
Nico Ortiz, he's former Army, but he's got a big following because he watches a lot of like TikToks of like Army fails and stuff, and then he makes his own. He started making a bunch of his own videos where he shows like how someone would propose. He shows how the Army would propose and how the Navy would propose.
I've seen that one,
yeah. Would propose. And when he gets to Space Force, he's got a tinfoil hat on his head and he's got like chicken fingers on his fingers. It's just like
Okay.
The Space Force is just so weird to everybody else. They're just like.
No, I had a cousin who was going to try and go into the Space Force, and I don't know what happened. He didn't end up going in. He like decided to be a Marine, like shortly after saying he was going to go be in the Space Force.
What do they do at this point?
Look up.
Yeah,
they're preparing for the Star War. They're up in space building a Death Star.
I could understand if they were doing something to like that dealt with our satellites that need protection from space debris or from other countries' satellites or something, but NASA still controls all of that.
Class 333, Death Star in hell.
At this point, I think it's more or less kind of prepping for the future where it's going to be more space related, and I think it was a wise move to kind of preemptively start that armed force to start kind of delving it out because essentially it was taking what was in the DoD between like Navy and Army and the Air Force and just coupling it into one location underneath the Air Force of the Space Force itself.
Oh, please let me live
I think
to participate in the Star Wars.
Now,
please.
Now, one thing I will say that I did find very interesting is when they announced the Space Force and then they actually showed their symbol. I went, they're using the Delta V. They are literally using the Star Trek sign for Space Force.
Mm-hmm. In the same angle too. Like
yeah. I mean, granted, theirs is a little bit.
Like, are they going to start training in zero G? What makes them special?
Their costumes,
their Space
are
Force
different.
That makes them special.
They're amazing.
I mean, if someone tells me that they're training in zero G, that's mad cool, and I'll give them all respect. But what makes their training different from anybody else's training is my issue. What makes you
so what I think is what they're doing is they're hiding the fact that actually Starship is actually flying and has been flying, and they've been contracted by Space Force to get our troops into space.
Okay.
And I think they're hiding it. And they're hiding it well by their problems they've been having with the civilian version of the of Starship. That's what that there. Gotta love tinfoil.
Somebody okay?
Yeah. Sorry, that's my cat.
You know, what exactly would Space Force camo look like in reality?
Black.
Are they just wearing like Vanta black outfits?
All black.
That'd actually be cool.
They're color printed
like
black.
Their camo is literally like a wallpaper that's nebulas and stars on a black field.
No, they look like they look like the rebels with the bowl helmets in A New Hope.
They're great, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I was 2 weeks from retirement.
No. Okay, so if we're going to look at this as kind of the future going into Star Wars, they would be more the would be the Republic before the coming of the Empire. So they would be dressed like clone troopers.
I want to be part of that. I want to be part of the 501st Legion. That's fucking sick.
You can go join the 501st Legion right now. They're always looking for volunteers.
Yep.
Until they execute Order 66.
Or do you think the jumpsuits would be more in line with those that have seen the show and know it, more like Star Trek Enterprise?
No, I got it.
Oh,
I got it.
Yeah,
What?
I would say more like Star Trek Enterprise.
Nope, I got it. The troopers on board Spaceball 1.
Yes, I can see that.
Ball helmets, the white suit.
The one that slides back?
No, just the ball helmet.
That one. Oh, okay.
That would be, dude, that would actually be funny. Like, Rick Moranis quit acting to go be the leader of Space Force.
Right?
And be surrounded by assholes.
Yes.
Yep.
Keep firing, assholes.
Them fucking protesters better be careful. Donald Trump's about to execute Order 66 on their asses.
I will.
What I saying.
Well, no. Going back to that, it's the whole point too. Is just this misunderstanding of what a rebellion actually is, and that's I think is not doing the Democrats any kind of anything good, because really, even though right now you have Trump in office, you have the Republicans controlling the House and the Senate, but still not really doing anything. The fight that's currently the rebellion is actually on the right now, fighting against the cultural rot that's occurred. That's more of the rebellion than what the Democrats are doing, trying to fight against the right in the culture war. Because the Democrats and the left have controlled media. They've controlled into comic books, the educational system, all of these different things. They're the evil empire.
Well, what do you expect from a bunch of people that can't even start a lawnmower by themselves?
I know it is such sad. It is such a sad state that the left is in right now, because they're losing all their slave labor. That is, it's Democrats of old are new. That's the problem, because they're coming out and they're saying the quiet part out loud now. They literally want a slave class that they can control.
Oh no, how dare them actually have to go get real jobs.
I mean, they're like, everything's going to cost more. It's like, okay, so it'll be kind of like Europe. Everything costs more because they have to pay the farmers a living wage. That sucks.
And on top of that, no one
care about that if it means that we're treating humans as humans and not as chattel.
And on top of that, there's already programs in there for migrant farm workers to come in legally to work in the fields and then leave. That system's been there for years, not just hiring the illegals.
For a party that really does not like slavery, they sure love slavery.
Yeah.
Come on, they've been the fighters for it the entire time. But Emerald, I need to go for like 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yay! Oh, shit, he didn't leave yet.
So Arz is gonna go and check his grinder real quick.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't worry. I made sure he was out of the back stage, just so he didn't hear that.
I'll tell him when he comes back.
Okay. No, it's fine. I don't care. He'll see it on replay.
I'll ask him about it.
We're not gonna tell anyone. Okay.
Most likely he's just responding to Darnell's grinder message.
Yeah.
That's how I knew. His foot pics.
That's how I knew. I sent him like 20 foot pics.
I mean, granted, some of us communicate on X, private messages and stuff like that.
I don't like taking drugs.
And some people will use Instagram. No. Darnell, I am not going to sign up for Grindr so that you can DM me there. Okay?
Come on, dude.
Start using X.
Come on.
No.
I seen some feet pics with dicks in them.
What the
dicks for toes?
Dicks for toes? What?
What was the picture taken from, like up here and it went past the dick and then to the toe?
Well, no. I'm very flexible. I can. Never mind. We're gonna stop right there.
Yeah.
That's just wrong. No one wants to see that or hear that or think about that. Danish. So what's your kind of so Jay? What's your favorite type of Danish?
Not even going there. Nope.
Cherry with white cream on it.
No.
Oh,
No, I'm not thinking about fucking Sean's balls. Please, no.
What? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
No, you don't want.
Yeah.
You don't want to know.
No, but you do. Let Sean tell you.
Yeah,
can
let
never-
Sean. That is Sean's story to ruin Danishes forever.
How does it ruin food for people? I don't get it. I've never understood how like a comparison makes people know. Oh, I'll never eat that again. I don't get it.
Unfortunately for Sean and Gina, that entire show is now synonymous with pigeon dildo.
Synonymous.
Did I say it right?
And the unnecessary use of Zed.
Oh God,
Wait.
yeah.
Wait, say it again.
The unnecessary use of Zed.
Canadians say Z instead of Z.
So Sean is convinced it's not ZZ Top, it's ZZ Top.
What?
Or zebra.
Are you serious?
Or
Yeah.
or
Oh, yeah.
Zebra.
He's teaching his kids zebra, not zebra.
I know the Brits do that. I just don't understand why.
He's Canadian.
I'm Canadian.
He does a lot of
He's Canadian, so
No, you're American, dude. You're American through and through, brother.
Yeah,
You
you're
are.
the adopted brother from another. You're the brother from another mother, man.
How was Grinder, Arza?
he's ignoring you.
Actually, I'm pretty sure
Told you I'd
you're
say
the
so.
only person here who knows what the notification sound for Grinder is.
Don't know.
Never heard of it until now.
Yeah.
Actually,
Now you have.
I heard it was this.
Big ass titties.
Not on Grinder.
I will be starting a Grinder
Big
account
ass
now.
dick.
That's how you get your attention.
Well, it turns out there are still actually some straight people on Grinder.
Well, actually, you know what the
Really?
big issue with Grinder is? Most of Grinders is people trying to sell pot.
Arza, I can't hear you barely, but
Yeah,
kind of
your
low.
sound's really out.
Kind of low, dude.
Actually, no, my cousin was actually talking about trying to date, and then I'm like, "Well, what are you looking at?" She's like, "Well, I'm on Grinder." I'm like, "You're gay?" And
You
she
want
went,
weed or
"No."
just gays?
And I was like, "Why are you?" There's like, it's a dating site. I'm like, "No, it's not."
Does that sound better now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. But no, actually, one of the big issues with Grinder is most people using Grinder are using it to try and sell weed.
Yeah.
Really?
Isn't that? That's pretty
Well,
legal in a
it
lot of
is.
states now. Like why
Grind.
are they doing it on there in like secret?
Because you could charge what you want if you do it secretly.
Oh,
And you don't have to pay taxes.
I
That
mean,
makes
I've been
sense.
really trying to think of different kind of dating apps to kind of maybe create, but I've realized there is, and they've all been created.
I
So
gave
I've
up
just
on
given up that route. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking of other ideas.
dude.
Of
I gave
course,
up
I'm
on
not-
dating apps like a long time ago.
And I've learned that I'm not that creative. So my thought process really, unless there's like, oh, math nerds. There we go.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
there,
that's- no, wait, nope. That I take that back. Nope, that's wrong. That's just an Asian dating site.
there used to be real people on a lot of these like on these dating apps, but now it's just bots. And now that we live in an age of OnlyFans, it's also just OnlyFans models trying to sell their content.
I
was-
just want
yeah.
Theo's dating app to come. I'm ready for Swipe Right.
I was using them when the bots started to take over. So it was a lot of people, but there's still a lot of bots at the same time.
Yeah, but that's all it is now. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Last time I think the last one I used was like Tinder, and that was like 5 years ago. I think
23
there's just no
years for me.
there's just nobody real on any of those apps anymore.
I wouldn't know.
We need to break you out of your shell. We'll introduce you to it. We'll find some really nice. There's a Whips and Chains dating site.
I might have to get back into it if you're bringing that up. I need some excitement.
I've never had the time to actually do it because of panels and everything. But I've always wanted to do the geek speed dating at Comic-Con.
Oh my
Geek
god!
speed
yeah.
dating.
I wanted to try
Oh, yeah.
it too when I went.
They had it at New York Comic-Con. They've had it at San Diego Comic-Con. Almost all the major Comic-Cons is an option. But it's like a 3-hour thing. And it's like when you're there, you want to see people and go on the floor and do stuff. You don't want to sit there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But there's a place near me that's now doing board games speed dating.
Board game speed dating.
Okay.
You show up at a place and you sit at a table and you play a game for like 20, 30 minutes, get to know everybody else with the game. Then you switch to another table with different people. And at the end, they said you write down the names of anyone you'd like to date or anyone you'd like to be friends with and give it to them. And if the other person gave you their name as well, then they set you up.
You know, I was looking at the speed dating options in my area just so I can get out of the house every once in a while. And for some reason, every single one in my local area requires your friend to do a presentation on you.
Just go to the fucking mall, dude. Fuck, get out your house that way.
Apparently, there's a place. Apparently, there's a place in LA that does D&D single nights.
Makes sense.
Nice.
And a mall is a place that is enclosed that has many different stores, and some of them, most of them have a thing called a food court.
Some, yeah.
Do malls even still exist though? Like I never hear about anybody going to a mall.
There is a mall near me, and I've been there. And the only things worth going to are the retro stores because
we got Crabtree Mall here in North Carolina. And why are you talking to Arza like he's never been to a mall?
Because he assumes I'm like all other Zoomers, and he's mean.
You're muted, Darnell.
No, I'm not picking on him, but he brought on himself. He goes, I considered speed dating to get out my house. Fucking walk out your house and go somewhere.
Okay, Darnell. All right,
What?
if I just walk out of my house and go to the mall, the amount of people I talk to will just be the people handing me my change.
I didn't say talk to people, just fucking get out the house.
Okay, if I
go to a game store.
Good point.
When people say they need to get out of the house, usually that includes talking to somebody. I could go.
You might
outside.
talk to somebody.
You know what you should do, bud?
Outside.
Dude,
Go to the library.
Have you ever thought about maybe going bowling? Like I went bowling this week by myself and had
my bowling ball recently broke last time I went bowling, so I'm kind of
bookstore.
The lane wasn't working right.
Ice skating rink.
I do that. Darnell, I go ice skating fairly frequently. I do all those things.
Then. Talk to people there.
Ice skating.
Nate, if I was ice skating, I wouldn't be doing YouTube.
Okay, fair point.
So getting into the main event this evening, we are going to play a few rounds of Would You Rather.
Hell yeah.
So we will get to this first one going.
Jay's a virgin. Here we go.
Yep.
Have to pay sales tax, never have to pay sales tax, or never have to pay income tax. Think about it, and I will randomly pick a person to start with. Person that looks like they're not really thinking about it in any kind of way. Nate.
I live in a town. She's not thinking about it.
Here's the thing. I don't mind paying sales tax on occasion, but I don't know. I don't like my paycheck being taxed. So I'm gonna say never have to pay income tax. I like getting all of the money that I work for.
Okay. Jay.
I'm actually on the same boat. I would rather have my money and then where I want to put my taxes towards, then I'll pay them.
Yeah.
So I'm going B as well.
Arza.
I'm going to have to go B because while I would love to never have to pay sales tax, that would be more gratifying in the moment. In the grand scheme of things, I'm likely paying more in income tax, and that would end up saving more money in the long run.
Funny.
After living in California, I have to say never pay sales tax because they tax everything and then a tax upon a tax upon a tax of everything. And I just found out we're about to get another gas hike tax.
Wow. I was going to say, don't they tax you for the amount of miles you drive?
They want to do that. They haven't gotten that one set up quite yet.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Even in New York, I wouldn't have realized how much I never want to pay sales tax again. But in California, no.
Darnell.
I'm gonna go with B because when I was a cop making $38,000 a year, my take home was $23,000 a year.
Oof.
I lived and supported a family on $23,000 a year.
That's crazy.
We were very, very, very close to that, losing everything level because $23,000 doesn't pay for a lot.
Nothing but respect on that, brother.
That's nuts.
I'm gonna have to go with B as well. The biggest reason to I live close to a state that has lower sales tax, but you can control a little bit more of what your money is going to in the sense of the sales tax and where you're buying it. So the income tax, again, getting rid of that too, is that everyone is paying into the system evenly in the sense based on the sales tax compared to an income tax, which is progressive. It's a user tax. I mean, granted, I get Tiny's point because here in the state of Washington, it's the same damn thing. Everything is taxed. One difference is that the state of Washington does not have a state income tax. Still federal. But I like it more as a user tax because that's actually more of what I would say is a fair tax in the sense that everyone's paying into it.
And it's easier to vote on to change.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
I get it. I just can't handle California.
Can we just opt for no tax and to burn it all down? Like
That's not the option. That's what would you rather is one or the other. Not can I choose this?
Can I make up my own?
Secret
Up in the middle.
Secret option C.
None of the above.
Right.
Okay.
All right, next
one up. Would you rather, maybe I can actually read this time, watch nothing but Christmas movies or nothing but horror film?
Oh, that was easy.
That's easy.
Hey, so we're going to go...
I don't know. There's some good Christmas movies, man.
Darnell.
Yeah, but...
B. Fucking B. B all day long. I hate Christmas.
Okay. All right, no. Fair enough. Arza.
I guess it would depend on exactly how you classify a horror and or a Christmas movie. But I generally don't particularly enjoy either of these genres. I find them very stifling and uninspired.
Okay,
But
Scrooge.
He wants another secret C. He doesn't count.
No, I don't. No, I'm rationalizing. I'd probably have to go with B, though, just because there's a much wider range of movies in there.
Die Hard. Lethal
Die
Weapon.
Hard. Damn.
Can we count Nightmare Before Christmas as a horror movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
But can we count it as a horror movie as well?
No.
No.
Not really.
It's an action movie and
Action
it's a
movie.
Christmas movie.
Well, you could argue it's a horror movie for its
No.
target demographic of children.
No.
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 Hey, kids
No.
are scared of
No.
that movie. I think.
No.
Kids shouldn't be watching that movie.
What do
Right?
you mean kids should be watching The Night Before Christmas? It's a
Okay,
kids movie.
okay. That's a generational thing because my generation was watching Die Hard when it came out in our single-digit ages.
Yes.
Well,
No,
I'm not
no.
invaliding that.
Wait. We got the cross. He's talking about night. What was it? Which one
Nightmare
are you
Before
talking?
Christmas.
Right. We're talking Die Hard. He's talking about Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, that
Oh.
too. My 9-year-old was watching that movie at 2 and was singing the songs and reenacting Jack's dances when at 2 years old
Oh my god.
for that movie. So it's
Okay, can you
generational.
count it?
The Christmas movie.
Christmas.
Yeah. Christmas movie.
The closest to horror it is just because they're skeletons.
Santa's yeah.
Hey, some people would be afraid of that in the claymation. Some people
Well,
are afraid of
a
Coraline.
lot of things that are based around Halloween are also considered horror genre. So you could say it for the Halloween stuff as well as the skeletons, but it's either way, it's still also a Christmas movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so we're saying for this you can't do any of the overlap movies, so like no Krampus?
No, you can do overlaps.
Yeah.
If it falls under both, then yeah. But so which one? So you really do. You don't get to pick secret option C. It's either A or B.
I'm not picking secret option C. I'm just asking clarification.
So give us an answer.
I did. I said
You
B.
did. B.
Oh,
You
okay.
did say
Because
B.
there's more movies in that genre.
I always figured you for a Hallmark Channel lover. Tiny.
A, because I don't actually like
Schreier.
most horror movies.
It's Strider.
I'm taking A. The Jew takes A. No, actually,
Yay.
like
Oh.
as I've said many times, my grandmother always said, "Peace on earth, goodwill towards all mankind" is more than enough reason to celebrate. So
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And It's a Wonderful Life is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, fair. I would also go with B, just because there's you can watch more year round. Typically, at Christmas time is when the Christmas movies come out, and nobody watches them throughout the rest of the year. If I had my choice between the two genres, yeah, it would have to be the horror movies. The horror movies got it for me. There's more to them.
Okay. Nate?
I like Christmas movies, but they are very limited, especially since it's very much a seasonal thing. So I'm gonna go with horror movies because, like Arza said and like Jay said, I think there's a lot of variety there. So you can definitely go in multiple different directions with horror, especially if it's like slasher horror or supernatural horror. There's just a lot you get. There's just a lot to get out of it.
So I'm going to go with secret answer C.
What?
I'm the host of the show, damn it, and I can pick that one. No. Horror in the sense that it can be I would say a thriller can be in that horror genre.
Mm-hmm.
I do tend to agree that those don't really have a seasonality to them, where the Christmas movies definitely is a time of the year type. And I'm not a fan of Hallmark, so it's very limited. Even during the holidays, I'm very limited, and I seem to always repeat the same Christmas movies.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation,
Die Hard,
Violent Night with David Harbour,
Wonderful Life, Christmas Carol. So there are certain ones that's just the standard for the holidays, and I really don't venture past really outside of that.
Lethal Weapon.
Yes, the first Lethal Weapon's technically a Christmas movie.
Yep.
I think I might have to change my answer actually. Now that I think about it. Because
no, you are not going for all of the above answer D.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I was thinking about it. I could, because Christmas time without Christmas movies seems kind of pointless, right?
But you got Krampus.
Then you got Nightmare Before Christmas.
I could go a whole Christmas season and not watch a fucking.
I really like Christmas movies around Christmas time.
You can watch Polar Express. That's a horror movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that animation it's something of nightmares.
I think I would rather have to watch Christmas movies all the time so I can watch Christmas movies at Christmas.
Then
just for that little bit of that feeling.
Okay.
Wait, that would require you actually watching movies.
I watch Christmas movies actually. I own a giant. Where is that located? I own a giant collection of all of the classic animated Christmas movies.
Owning the collection means shit because you own a collection of movies behind you and you don't watch those.
I'm actively watching one of my DVDs not right now because I'm on stream, but I've been watching through one of them.
Right, he's on stream, so it means he's playing a video game. Right. Okay, so.
Okay. He minimized it.
Yeah.
I can't minimize games that fast, Darnell.
It's a simple keystroke.
No,
you know about strokes.
Hey. Oh my.
I can't tell there's a game because it's so blurry.
That's Brave, Discord, Spotify, and the video player, which is showing Doctor Who because I've been watching through my Doctor Who collection.
You're watching Doctor Who right now instead of.
I'm not watching Doctor Who right now. I was watching before the stream started.
I'm fucking with you.
No, he has more. No. I tease and I kid. Ours is better than that. He knows on this show not to play video games, unlike, let's say, Rogues Gallery.
Not too fair. I only play games of Rogues Gallery when I get interrupted a lot, which happens a lot.
Would you rather date someone that loves PDA or someone that hates all forms of PDA?
Why do I feel like this is a question that's aimed at Theo?
Yeah, I don't think half this panel can answer this question.
Fuck you.
You're on the other half, Darnell. You're married.
Hey, no.
Darnell's never admitted. Darnell's never said he enjoys being married. I mean,
The game is what would you prefer? What would you choose if you had to?
what-
Not what
what-
are you
what-
doing with your life?
Right.
No. I was saying I think half the people on this panel do not have enough experience to have an opinion.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna
It's,
sound a
whoa,
little.
time out.
Oh, he's
No,
gone.
bring him back. Bring him back. No, bring him back. There's 2 of you that that don't have enough experience. There's 4 of us that do.
Well,
Hey, I don't know Emerald's history.
That's not half.
I'm gonna sound.
That's a
I'm prob-
third.
If Emerald isn't one of them, I don't know his history, then it would be half.
It's not. He's not. He's one of us.
One of us.
Look at that face and
One of
beard.
us.
He is not. He's not in your camp.
No,
I was hoping because he's a bachelor.
nope.
Okay.
Married with 3 kids.
I need to ask this, and I'm gonna sound dumb for asking this. What is PDA?
Public displays of affection.
Oh,
Like
okay.
holding hands,
okay.
hugging,
So,
kissing.
yeah, so,
That
you-
shit. Have to look it up, too.
so to do it that way is you got someone that just loves it. So every time you're
Okay.
out, you are constantly doing it, or someone that just doesn't, not at all. So when
Okay.
you're out in public, you don't even know that person's like married. You don't know that they're dating. They're
Yeah,
keeping
I've known a
distance
couple
from
people
each
like
other.
that. It's a little bit weird to me, but they're happy, so whatever.
Right. So we will start with let's see, who have we? Jay.
Well, being married for 23 years, the whole form of holding hands is pretty much gone. We just walk in the mall, usually one in front of the other one, kind of thing. So there's really no form of affection there, unless we're looking at apples at the same time. What do you think? But
Boy, no. It's
Staring
not
at
saying,
the
it's
wine
not saying you're
cabinet.
cold to. It's not saying you're cold to each other. You just don't do the PDA.
no. Well, and that's the thing. So at this point, it's not that we hate it. It's just that we just don't do it. So I'm more leaning towards the B in that regard. We just don't. There's no public forum. Like we're lip locked.
Yeah.
Thanks for making that noise, Jay.
By the way, you're welcome.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Well, since
He's
we
still
see
going.
this, the point of it of not what is actually happening in your life. Let's go with Arza.
Well, I can easily get love bombed to oblivion. Get tired of the person being overly affectionate. I think I would rather, despite easily being overwhelmed with that kind of thing, would prefer A because it is a consistent sign that somebody cares.
Okay.
Tiny.
Fair enough.
Hey, most
Fair,
of my
fair.
exes were always very. It wasn't always like we would hold hands, but also a lot of times, just yeah, no, A. I don't need to go into
Because you got to
detail.
keep in mind, I mean, the PDA can be everything from just even while holding the door for someone, and at the small of the back leading in is a sign of PDA. It's technically
yeah,
PDA.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still, I mean, there's a lot. Doesn't mean that you're sitting there pulling you off to the side and constantly kissing, constantly hand holding, and all this. There's different forms of PDA. So
I'm gonna do that. I'm just staying home.
so
Well, I'd
since
still
you just
open the
saying-
door for the
since-
wife,
Right.
right? I still open the door.
I'm just
first.
picturing A as like you can remember because our generation, we got to high school. We
Oh,
were
yeah.
constantly yanked apart from each other because everyone's sticking tongues in each other's mouths and
Oh,
hugging and
Well,
wrapping
yeah,
around each
because
other
at a
and walking
certain
around
point,
stores like
yes.
that. And
there is a certain level that it's become gross, but it just says just to date someone that loves PDA, not necessarily that they're
Always
obsessed
doing
with
PDA
it
or
and
the most extreme.
always
PDA,
doing
just
that, right?
dating someone who enjoys PDA.
enjoys it. So let's go with Nate. Are you one that would enjoy that PDA, or are you more a voyeur?
you know the answer to this one.
I'm actually gonna go with A.
Oh,
and,
I was
and
wrong.
the reason for this is that a lot of my past relationships, I've dated women that have all hated public displays of affection to the point where I got my feelings hurt quite a bit, and I I don't know. Like one of my exes, she was like, I just want you to be yourself more often when we go out in public. And then the moment I would try, she would absolutely just look at me like I'm a wild animal. It really hurt me for a bit. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with A on this. Like if I could just be my goofy self in front of her in public, and she looks at me like, oh yeah, that's my man. I'd feel good about it.
Darnell.
Oh, B. Easy. B. Because going back to what I said, A is to me. Now,
Okay.
This is just how I'm interpreting it. Date someone that loves PDA. There's like and loves PDA. If someone loves PDA, they're insecure and they're so worried about the person they're with or jealous that they always have to be like hanging on them, holding them, showing every woman in the room that are in the fucking mall, building, whatever, that this guy's mine. That's an insecure person, and I cannot stand insecurity. So B.
Well, like for me, it's like I give everyone hugs. I hug everybody. I have lots of friends that I kiss on the cheek. I'm a very public display of attention platonically.
To me, that's like you like PDA.
What?
To me, love is someone who is like they attach to you like a fucking barnacle. That's how I'm interpreting in my head. And I fucking hate women like that.
I'm with Darnell. I feel like it's gonna be somebody who's very touchy, very feely, very needy.
I've dated women like that.
On you.
Oh yeah, they're so needy that if you like my second wife, we go eat out. Me, her, our kids. Waitress comes. Oh, hey, so and she tap me on the shoulder, whatever. Like, all right, so what do you want to drink? Give her my drink order. They give theirs. She walks off. My ex-wife looks at me. I'm gonna fucking hit her if she touches you again. And she the whole meal she moves her chair right next to me and has got to be touching me the whole time. Like, no, fuck you.
I think that's a little more different situation, but I'll give you that B. Okay,
That's why I say
in my
love
case,
is that.
right. In my case, I would have to go with A, because again, even though I am the same generation as Darnell, I do see it more than just what we were always having to deal with in high school. I also see it from the aspect of the loving touch of the small of the back when walking, or things like that. It doesn't need to be constantly tongues down throats.
Right.
But Devastator brings up a really good point. So it's freaking the streets or sheets. He chooses sheets. I don't think it's necessarily because nowhere did it say that the PDA is public.
Yeah.
Now, on that note,
does not necessarily mean that back at home they're a loving person either.
On that note, I'll get freaky in public. Absolutely. Done it many times. Would do it many more times.
Bring up the next one.
Okay.
Do it now.
I have.
To do it.
It's a nice little graphic.
Would you rather never age physically but be miserable, or age normally and be happy?
I got that one already.
We'll go. Let's see. Should we go oldest to youngest, youngest to oldest, or just randomly pick?
We start middle and then we go one out in either direction.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that this time around. So we'd start with Tiny.
Well, considering I have a disease where I do not actually age and I look like I did 20 years ago and I'm miserable most of the time, I'll take B. Oh, you were like reading this. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, all I'm doing is just taking the cards from the game and digitizing.
I know. I feel called out. Okay.
Oh. Damn, I need that video of Brie Larson going, is that a personal attack?
Is that a personal attack or something?
Exactly.
Gotta say, feels just a little bit.
Emotional damage.
There we go. Perfect.
Hey. Next, we will go with Nate.
Since I have a lot of internal struggles with being happy, you know what? I'm going to go with age normally and be happy. If I could live a long, fulfilling life and just be happy 24/7, man, that'd be great.
Okay.
Smart man.
Jay.
I will be the same as the fact that I'm 50 and I've aged quite a bit already. I'm already semi-miserable, especially at work.
Don't
But
worry.
no,
Be happy.
I would actually, I would have to go with B because I would rather just age normally like a good wine and be happy in the end. So,
Not like asparagus.
Unfortunately,
Right?
that's the curse of men to age more gracefully. Unfortunately,
We grow
It
into
is.
silver fox.
unlike Tiny, that just doesn't age at all
What
anymore.
do you live in?
Next up, we got Arza. Which do you go with, Arza?
Tiny's the real vampire in our D&D group.
mm-hmm.
Well, I'm nice and young, and so never aging physically would be fine and dandy. Aside from the fact that everybody already thinks I'm 30, and I am already miserable, so I can lock that one down. Alternatively, I can age normally and hope that eventually I do have a glow up. It's not too late yet, so I'd go with age normally and hope that one day I get hot, and I can be happy if I don't get hot. So I have to go with B.
Okay.
It sounds like he was trying to choose a C option that wasn't there again.
No,
Again. Yeah.
no, I just did a nice little none of the.
What?
No, I'm
I-
trying to
I
stay in
applied
the
to
I'm
all
trying to
of
stay in the
these.
guidelines of the game, guys. But I understand. Anyway,
But if I could have things my way, this is how I'd want
I
it to
I
be.
just have to weigh out all the possibilities. Just taking you guys on the journey with me.
yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, that's what this game is supposed to present, though. So, Darnell.
Choices.
So unlike some of these vain assholes who are making it about looks, I'm gonna choose B, age normally and be happy, because like Jay mentioned, I am older, I'm physically busted up, and I'm pretty miserable. I would love to age normally and be happy, and not be
Exactly.
not be like oohing and eyeing every time I stand up or bend over or whatever.
Mhm.
How you today, Darnell?
I know it would be
Kicking
nice for
my
one of those
ass.
things go
You're
and
fine.
let's say sneeze and not throw my back out.
That too.
That would be
you.
great.
You're gonna see one day, motherfucker.
Oh yeah. You just
Hey, you're
wait.
gonna get to. Hey, you want to know what? You're gonna get to an age that you can
Hey.
no longer trust a fart.
I bent over to pick a sock up off the floor. Literally just, sock. Bent over at the waist to pick it up. Was stuck like that for an hour and a half because no one was home and the nerve just decided it was going to be pinched.
Okay, that's your fault for
I'm so
bending
sorry,
over to grab a
Darnell.
sock and not using your foot to pick up the sock.
I couldn't use my knees. My knees are fucking
Not
hurt.
everyone's that flexible.
My knees are fucked
That
up.
doesn't take that much flexibility.
I can't do that.
Now, keep in mind, now he's putting himself out there, ladies and gentlemen, that he is very flexible. So, and he's single. So keep that in mind, Arza. I would go with B, just age normally and be happy. I don't get the idea of just I can understand it for those that would be more in the realm of being vain.
Yeah.
That would want, and
Back in
on
a
top of
second.
that would want that to always be physically looking young.
So
It's
there
like-
is the non-vain answer to A, in that it means that you never have to go deal with the back problems, knee problems, digestive problems.
Because you're still miserable. So
Yeah. Exactly.
You can
True,
be
but you're
miserable.
physically young.
Oh, you can be miserable and still be perfectly physically healthy. It is
Yeah.
possible.
You could be miserable
Mhm.
internally and mentally and still have the body of Chris Hemsworth. So,
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I guarantee you, Chris Hemsworth is miserable.
everybody out there is miserable. Are you kidding me? If they say
Yeah.
they're not, they're fools. I'm just saying.
Especially in the way this world is right now. Yeah, I can see how people would be.
Somebody playing
Okay.
with a
Yeah, no.
tumbleweed?
I'm trying to figure out who that was, and I'm gonna say it was Darnell because he was off screen playing with a bag or something.
Oh.
Would you rather
It was me.
never be afraid again or never be lonely again?
Mm,
Easy.
that's easy.
Easy, yeah.
Nate.
Never be lonely again, because admittedly I can be a self-depressed lonely bastard sometimes. And I really hate that feeling.
Darnell.
Oh, A. Fucking A. Easy. Fucking easy, man. I don't give a shit about being lonely. I'd be happy by myself. I don't fucking care. Never be afraid again.
Hey. Jay.
You know, I was thinking B to begin with, but you make a very compelling point. I'm fine on my own. Like some days I would be like, I'd rather be on my own. So I actually, yeah, I'm happy.
Like a true married man.
A. Yeah.
This is
I cook, I do my own laundry. Yeah, no, I'm fine. A.
Arza.
Well, you know, I'm kind of afraid of being lonely, so knock out two birds with one stone, eh? By taking B.
There's no C.
I said I'm taking
Fine.
B.
Okay, so he's fine. He's going with secret answer E now. Because he's not allowed to use C anymore.
I took B.
You can't say both.
Okay, B. Tiny.
It's really hard.
That's what she
I don't
said.
like being lonely. I am a super extrovert. I do not do well by myself. But before I got sick, I was never afraid. Like, I've been sick since I was afraid, and I don't like how that feels. So I think I'm going to go with A.
Okay, that is everyone but me. So I'm going with the secret answer Z. Now,
Zed. Fucking Canadians.
Wait,
Shit.
Lord Zed?
Lord
Go,
Zed.
go, Power Rangers!
I would have to go with A. As you get, I find personally, especially as you get older and you have more time on this earth, you go through more bouts of being alone, where that doesn't seem as bad. So I would go with A, just because, man, just no more fear, because I'm fine with bouts of loneliness. I think that's just part of the human condition.
But
It'd be great to get rid of being afraid of things.
I can add a caveat to A, which will make it more enticing. You won't be afraid to talk to that chick that you saw at the store. You saw at campus.
I don't have that fear.
Wait,
I'm
but
talking
if
about
I'm
I'm
not
talking about the
lonely-
other side of the panel. The two on the
If
other
I'm
side
not-
of the panel.
If I'm not lonely, then presumably I won't have that issue.
But if you're not afraid,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
it doesn't say you'll never be with anybody. If that you'll be with somebody if you're never lonely. It just says you won't feel lonely.
He is right.
And it doesn't say you'll always be lonely. It just says that you will be lonely at times.
Well,
Well, if you're never afraid
seriously,
again,
right?
You always meet someone new.
You know what? I'd like to retract my answer. A.
No, okay, hear me out, right? So, the great quote from a horrible movie, World's Greatest Dad. I realize now I'd rather be alone than be surrounded by those who make me feel alone. To never be alone, I would classify that as being surrounded by people who make me feel like I am not alone. And
Robin
therefore,
Williams, yeah.
that would require... Robin Williams movie, yeah. But terrible film. And that would require me to be around people who want to be in my presence, whose presence I enjoy. And therefore, I imagine that would be a stronger bulwark.
Well, wait. Remember, you're never afraid. So you're never afraid to go find a new circle of friends, or to tell the friends you have off.
Well, there's
because
no guarantee that those new circles or people would ever accept you.
But you're not afraid
But-
to go find a new one,
Not,
But
to
you
fair,
wouldn't be
so
lonely
on.
then.
and so on, and so
A is a
on.
little enticing just because I throw up whenever I see a needle. So
Take it from me. I was really scared when MSK texted me for the first time and asked me to be on the show. But then I wouldn't have met you guys.
So I'm going to go with A, never be afraid again.
There you go.
Again.
You would
Of
see
course,
me
I
be.
can't say that I really have a whole lot of fears. Where a lot of people have fears of like certain animals, let's say, or
I'm scared
reptiles.
of heights.
Heights don't bother me. I in my youth rock climbed. So
It's weird. Like I can get on a plane and be okay with that, but like getting on a Ferris wheel, I swear I'm gonna die.
not
Okay,
weird
you
at
don't
all.
know. No,
It's a different
okay.
metric.
So actually, you want to know what that is? I definitely want to get rid of the fear because I hate being passenger in a car. I
Fair
fear being a passenger in a car.
You sound like my mom.
Because you don't have
She's-
control.
I've heard that.
Yeah, you
I've heard
don't
that.
have control.
and that's why I'm not a fan of really a fan of flying either, because I don't have control over my mobility. I'm putting the trust of someone else and my trust in them to keep me safe. I'm
Nope,
not a fan of that. That is a fear, more of a fear.
I used to be bothered, like not feared of that, but I used to be bothered because I hated giving up control, not because I was feared it.
but then
But
you got hurt.
now, when I'm in a vehicle, whether it be a boat, plane, car, whatever, I want to give up that control because I'm gonna fucking take a rest. I'm gonna take a nap.
See,
Yeah.
I don't like driving. I generally find it to be, unless I'm on an empty road with no other cars, I generally don't enjoy the experience. So if there's somebody who I can trust to drive for me, I'm not too worried. But if I'm driving my little sister who doesn't know how to drive all the way yet, like she doesn't even have her permit yet. No, she does. She doesn't have her license. She has a permit, not her license. No, I don't like that.
How about new, you crazy Dutch
Oh.
bastard?
The only thing I just heard is that he's afraid of women drivers.
Yep,
Yep.
with good reason.
I turn now. Good luck, everyone else.
Yeah, right.
Good luck, 8 lanes of traffic.
Hey, never
hey,
get a
my-
hangover or never get sick.
Easy.
So easy.
I'm saying that not to offend, not to like make light of your situation, Tiny.
Go ahead. You can start us off.
Oh, fuck A, dude. Fuck A, man. At least with a sickness, you kind of there's treatments for it.
Yeah,
With a
I would assume when
hangover-
it says like never get sick, they mean like regular colds and stuff. No.
That's what I assumed too. That's why I was trying to be like, I don't mean it like, yeah. That's
Right.
what I assumed too. I would choose A. Fuck A. Fuck A. Fuck A. I'll take a fucking flu every few months if I have to, and never have to fucking get a hangover again. Fuck A.
But you'll. Well, you can correct me. If I,
Well, okay. A only has one hole where B has two. With your comment there, ruined the joke. We'll go with Nate next.
Sorry about that. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this. I think you can only really get a hangover if you get drunk in the first place. And since I only drink when I'm like really depressed or really going through something, I'd rather never get sick again because, you know, I like feeling healthy. I like being able to get up and function, and waking up and feeling like complete and total crap because some bug hit me out of nowhere. It's just, it's not a good feeling.
That
I'm
will
gonna
change
go
as older you
with-
get.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Arza last because I know he's thinking of his loophole. Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, did you say his loophole? Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Lube.
Loophole.
His loophole.
Loop. There
You
is
got to have a hole
answer.
worth lubing.
Luke,
Sorry.
I am your father.
Loophole.
You know, it's funny. It's funny, Arza. I know a guy named Luke. I'm very close to that guy. Like extremely close to that guy. I am that guy.
So, Tiny, which one would you go with?
Well, since I was blessed with my father's genetics and I never get hangovers, I'd like to never get sick again.
Okay.
Whether that counts as chronic illness or even the flu, because I've always found it to be completely and utterly unfair that anyone with a severe chronic illness still has to get the common fucking cold too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's just not
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That is a double whammy of what the fuck. For sure.
it is.
Okay, next up, Jay.
I'm going the same route. I'd rather not be sick. I'd rather be productive and still be a functioning person within what I do. Sorry, I'm not giving no offense. But like, yeah, I'd rather be because I don't drink that much. Like, the only time I drink is like when I come on here, just have a couple of drinks. As you get older, the hangovers, they're not pretty the next day. So it's like I still have to function. I'd rather, not be sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so over to the loophole. Arza, what have you come up with?
Well, if you guys want me to find a loophole, technically, being hungover is a kind of sickness and has always been.
I knew it. I
classified.
fucking knew
Yeah.
it.
That's where
Exactly.
That's why I said it.
Hold up. To be clear,
I knew
this
it.
is a problem of your making because you told me to find a loophole basically.
No,
That is
you were
the
gonna do
only-
it anyway.
No, I
Right?
was not. I had a completely different answer prepared.
Okay, so
Ours
what
is-
was your
question
original
so
answer?
Marcy said challenge
original
accepted.
answer- yes, I did, and so therefore, hangovers are technically a sickness because it is your body reacting to a pathogen that shouldn't be there. So technically, never getting sick would make you
It's
never get a hangover.
dehydration.
That's
Yeah,
one
it
of
is
the
mostly
issues.
dehydration.
It's dehydration.
But
lack
dehydration
of
is actually considered
potassium.
illness.
Yes, but
It
okay.
shouldn't be
So what I was
necessarily,
going
but it is.
to say is I don't
Yeah.
drink a lot. I've been drunk twice, and both times I've only had a slight
Pink
buzz.
Moscato.
It was not a buzz. I've never been
I
drunk
was
off
waiting
Pink
for someone
Moscato.
to say it.
I have not been drunk off Pink Moscato. You slander it. I did not get drunk. That night.
We all saw you, love.
We saw it.
I wasn't drunk.
It's
You were
on
very,
the
you were
You
very
said-
buzzed when you were
Wow,
drinking
you
the
were very
Moscato.
buzzed.
You're fucking me up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you said that.
I don't
This
think I
Pink
did. You have, to
Moscato
prove,
fucked
you, have
me
to,
up.
you have to play the
Can't
tape on
rep-
that one.
okay, hey, in all fairness, the reason why he doesn't think he said it is because he was drunk. Anyway,
Ah,
Pull the tape. Fuck you. But no, I don't drink that much. I at most have a single like small drink of whiskey when I drink, so I don't get drunk. Getting a hangover is a choice. So
And
I
then
just
you use Pink Moscato to wash the whiskey down.
and
Oh my
generally I don't
God.
like getting sick anyway. I hate going to the doctors. I hate needles. I can't stand needles. So anything that removes that from the pool, I'm perfectly happy with getting. So never get sick. It's just pragmatic.
yeah, I would go with B, never get sick, for the sheer fact that I do not drink. I found the loophole. My loophole is the fact that I just don't drink.
Yeah.
So
Get it out
I
there.
didn't have that issue of the
Fair.
hangover. So, I mean, that's kind of my own loophole. But no, the reason I said is because I figured you would go with the fact that hangover is an illness in the sense that you get sick.
yeah.
I knew he
wasn't
was gonna say
going
that.
to.
I had a feeling. Now, okay. In all fairness, what would be your original answer had I not posed that challenge to you?
My original answer was simply I don't drink enough to get drunk or to get hungover. So, and I don't like getting sick, so I would choose B. Just straight up.
Okay.
He was
You
gonna
see-
check B no matter what.
And here's what I'm thinking also to make A more enticing. I enjoy waking up feeling like shit once in a while. Like, hey, look, hold on, hear me out. I wake up and I feel like I got hit by a truck. There's a good chance I'm gonna spend most of that day sleeping and getting rest and enjoying. Even though I got 4 kids, I will get help somewhere where I can just relax. That's a vacation to me. So
Okay,
being
but-
sick is something I enjoy.
Makes sense.
But you
Makes
don't get to
sense.
choose to be sick. Sickness just happens, and sometimes
matter.
it's really fucking bad.
Yeah, I know.
And I'd
Doesn't
rather
matter. I'll
not
take it.
be randomly subjected to the curse
I'll
of
take
the humors.
I'll take
Darnell
it.
in the sick
Okay,
ward
but-
going quick. Breathe on me.
To some degree, those of us
Yeah.
that don't get hangovers, for whether it's we don't drink or genetics, can't understand exactly what Darnell goes through when he gets a hell of a hangover.
Oh my god! And look,
So-
I never got him till recent.
Really?
So-
Usually comes with age.
Definitely
yeah,
with
it's-
age.
It's the worst headache I've ever had in my life.
Ooh, excuse me.
Everything smells and every smell makes you want to puke your guts up.
Yep.
Yeah, welcome.
feel
Oh,
like
you mean
you
how I
like-
feel on a regular
essentially-
basis?
I was going to say, well, then welcome to my migraines because I get very, very bad.
Right. I get those too, but the for some reason the hangovers are worse because it's just I've experienced both. In fact, I had a migraine
ya.
last week that knocked me out. I would still take never get hangovers over again.
Also, I haven't tried this, but I've heard that reportedly, like there's you can do basically a banana smoothie is going to do a lot. A banana
Wait,
and
because
honey
you want
smoothie.
you want the potassium, you want some magnesium, but most important is B12,
It works.
vitamin D, and
But there's
water.
also the
works.
hydration from the water in it, and then there's also
Wait.
the sugar and the antioxidants in
It works when you're fucking young. When you get older, You can't ingest enough of that to make
listen
it
here, old
effective.
man. You shouldn't be drinking that much anyway.
Listen, son.
Oh,
I can
here
be
we
your
go.
father. I'll
Luke,
drink when I damn
I'm
well
your
please.
I only got one hangover once in my life, and that was because I got paid a lot of money to be in a champagne chugging contest.
Fair enough.
And that's not something anyone should ever do.
No.
Would you rather?
Accidentally walk in on your parents, or have your parents accidentally walk in on you.
Easy.
Easy dubs. I got this.
Yep.
This is going to be an interesting
This
question.
is so easy for me.
Who made
I
the
bet
most,
it is.
Who made the most noise out of that one? Jay, you were quiet, so you could start.
Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
Yeah. I'm.
Use microwave is done.
I've actually had both happen, and they're both quite embarrassing. But probably not have my parents walk in because, like, it was not pretty because, like, a lot was showing. Yeah. I have to go with B. If I can hear through the door that they're going at it, I'm not walking in. So, if they walk in, I'd rather not.
No. One of these two things will happen. What are you choosing?
B.
Okay.
B.
Nate.
I'm going with B. Just on the off chance that if I'm giving it to her good and my dad walked in and then immediately afterward he gave me a high five, I'd be proud of that. Just saying.
Yeah.
Now, if I walked in on my parents, my face would probably melt off like what's his face in Raiders.
That's how I was made. No.
That's not pretty at all. Tiny.
On this episode of How It's Made.
My parents haven't been
Jay Chrisman.
My parents have been together since I was 4. It would be really, really disturbing. Really disturbing. So I'm gonna have to go with B.
Arza.
Well,
My dad would probably kill whoever it was.
No.
Fair enough. See, unfortunately, when I was little, my parents were perfectly fine walking around the house naked. So I have had to deal with that when I was younger.
Jesus Christ.
That doesn't mean I would choose it was quite terrible, trust me. But I have to go with B because that means I'm actually getting some. See, I can see a lot of reasons why somebody would choose A. Their parents are now back alive, maybe, or they're back together.
What if one's dead?
No.
Well, now they're back together, hopefully.
Fucking the corpse.
Oh God, no! It's just.
Well, with how liberated your parents are, though, to have your parents walk in, they might just stand there and give pointers.
Arza, no. Lift your leg
Go
4
that
inches
way.
higher.
Yeah.
Son, you're not.
Your dad's like
back here.
Your dad's like, Arza, slap him on the ass.
Damn it, son, you're not spreading them legs wide enough. You gotta do it like
move
this.
over. Here, move over. Here, I'll
Move over, watch me do it.
If you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Arza, when you go down, you do this. Tap vagina.
Darnell.
Oh, I've experienced both of these. I'll choose B every time. And 100% B. The time that parents walked in on me, it was my mother, her husband, my younger brother, and my infant sister. They knew what we were doing. Walked in, we were covered in blankets. She was on top. Walked in, sat on the edge of the bed, put my sister on the bed, knowing what she would do because I was her favorite person in the family. She crawled up to my girlfriend. They crawled up her and started kissing me on the cheek. I'm laughing. She's mortified. And so eventually my mom took her out and got her out of the other room. They left. And so I started going and she's like, you want to keep going? I'm like, yeah, why not?
I'm not finished.
I'm not done yet.
And she was like, okay.
It's still hard. You can tell.
Now, my answer would be the weird one. What the fuck?
Hey, you want to know what? If this is a pissing contest on weird things that happen, Darnell will come out in the clutch.
Fair enough. Now, if you want the loophole, you just do the Alabama method, and then there's your loophole.
Oh no!
Oh, God.
No!
Oh,
That is
You're
the
good, son. Bang
your mama right.
As I say that, and then he has to come out and say a comment like that. Just don't knock her up.
I'm going to do
You
your
don't want a
sister.
sister. You don't want a sister, daughter.
I'm about to be your uncle, grandpa.
Wow.
Did we
Wow.
kill? Oh, I thought we killed Jay for a second. I was like, where'd he go?
oh,
Hey, you guys want me to put out
God.
loophole? There's one for you.
Oh,
I like it. I like it. I like it.
yeah.
Oh shit!
where the soundtrack to your family is.
Yep.
Family tree like a Picasso.
Sweet
Yeah.
home Alabama.
Your family choose a pool cue.
Splatter. She's a pool cue.
God.
Would you rather
Phew.
have a very clingy partner or a very jealous
hate
partner?
It's the same thing.
thing?
It's the same
Fuck.
thing.
Right?
I covered that. I
they
covered that a few
could,
questions
they
ago.
could be a jealous partner, and that's why they're clingy, or the fact that they are just very. This kind of, I think, more with like almost the PDA, almost the whole point that constantly physically has to be touching you. In general, clinginess, but the clinginess too could be the fact that you didn't text me today.
Now
You-
hold on.
You didn't wake me. As soon as you woke up, you
Okay.
didn't text me and say hi. It doesn't need to necessarily be physical,
Okay.
but just
Now hold on.
constant attention.
Can they be jealous and not want to fucking kill you for just looking at another woman?
No, that's what jealousy is.
That's
Mhm.
jealousy.
I
Now,
mean, there's.
she could be-
I mean, there's being jealous and then being absolutely psycho. So
But the thing is that he or she could also, though.
And it says very jealous, so they're going for psycho.
Yes.
point taken.
But the very clingy partner doesn't have that jealousy and doesn't care if another person's on top of you or under you.
Hey, I know, it's a good time.
Well, it doesn't say that.
No, he's very
That's how I read
he's
into
very
it.
No,
clingy.
Tiny. That's Drunken's loophole with this.
Hey, you want to know what? Ours is not the only one that can try to think of loopholes. Speaking of that, Arza.
I'm gonna have to go with very clingy partner because one, it means I have a partner, and two,
They both
Would
have
someone
partners.
in the chat please fuck this man?
please, I'll give you my
I
answer.
He
don't
needs
care
it
who.
bad.
I don't care who. Somebody just fuck this man.
Give him
But-
the night of his life.
If
His
they're
grinder is
clingy,
in the
that means I
profile.
can rope them into doing things that I like to do.
His grinders in the comments.
Video games and pink Moscato.
I could get them. I could convince them to play games with me. Sure. Or do
Wait, you
anything
mean like
else.
video
What kind
games or
of
play
games?
mind games with you?
Either or, whatever floats their boat or my boat because they're clingy. They won't leave me, so they'll do whatever
Oh,
I'm doing.
God.
He's playing Mortal Kombat with her and does a
Cass.
fatality, and he's like, "That's what I'm gonna do to you later."
But whereas a jealous girlfriend, well, I'm sure from what I've heard, it leads to some excellent sex. That doesn't
True.
last very long because you have to buy a new car.
That's just hate fucking.
So I have to go with A.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Darnell.
Oh, fucking A, dude. I know it kind of goes against with the PDA thing, but I would take clingy over fucking jealous any day. I hate jealous people. I fucking hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
Tiny.
I guess I feel like I should say clingy, but I've never had a seriously jealous partner, so I'm like not sure what that would be like. Except I've had friends that had jealous partners that I've had to deal with, so I don't really want to deal with that one of my own. But I've dumped guys for being too clingy. If it's like I have to call you every freaking time I wake up, and every other thing is,
Yeah.
I guess I'll go with A. I don't know. I have like okay, for me there's a difference between jealous and possessive. Like I've had guys that were very, very happy and very proud to have me as their girlfriend, and therefore they were happy to let anybody else like be like, oh, your girlfriend's hot. Like that never made them jealous or anything. It made them happy because they were possessive.
I think
so it's like I always thought of jealousy was like if they don't want anyone talking to you, they don't want anyone else liking you, they don't want anyone else thinking about you.
Jealousy can also be a very controlling.
Yeah. It falls under possessive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same. Two sides of the same coin.
Yep.
Having been with jealous people before, it's two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's stick with clinging then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, same. I'm going clingy. Jealousy, no. I want to be able to go out and not have to worry that that person is going to think I'm fucking her or whatever. Like, if she's a friend of mine and we're going someplace, fine. Just let it be. But, yeah.
Jealousy, by definition, means you don't trust your partner.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not necessarily. Like, they don't trust
they're jealous
other people.
Yeah, they're jealous of other people.
Like you showing attention to someone else, even if it's just like friendly attention.
Exactly.
A lot of times I've seen that the being jealous will push someone to cheat. Like, fuck it. If I'm gonna be accused every time I walk out the goddamn house, might as well do something that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, if I trust the person I'm with, I'm not going to be worried about who they're going out with or what they're doing. I'm not going to be jealous about those things because I trust them.
That's not jealousy then. Jealousy is you not trusting anybody.
But that's my point. That's why jealousy doesn't make sense to me. Either you trust the person or you don't.
Well, okay. Toasty or Tiny, sorry.
Whoa.
Whoa, wait a minute.
There's a
Hey.
massive difference there.
I happen to very much like Toasty. But
Very
I'm not
different
We do
people.
too.
We all
Very
like Toasty for obvious reasons. No, I'm just kidding.
Very
But I am
different
not
people, very similar names, okay? Toasty and Tiny. I have
They are
done it
not
the other
the
way.
same.
I've had to correct myself many times. People who suffer from jealousy are not jealous of their partner is going to do. They're jealous of their own insecurities.
Yep.
So they're not actually afraid of the other person doing something bad. They're afraid that they deserve to have something bad done to them. They're like
Okay.
they don't think they're worthy of a commitment, and so they think they're jealous that the other person is going to realize that they aren't worthy of that commitment, and they'll cheat because the person isn't worthy to be committed to. It is a self-insecurity projected onto others, not an insecurity about others.
Well, I'm a crappy host. I can't remember who has not gone yet.
I have,
Nate,
I
have
have
you?
not gone.
Yeah.
I have not
Okay.
gone. This is a very tricky one for me because I have been on the receiving end of both of these. I've dated women who have been both jealous and insecure and have been very clingy at the same time. So that's why when I said in the beginning, this kind of goes hand in hand a little bit because it can, but it also can't. I mean, there's women out there who are very clingy just because they very much love their partner and they want to be with them 24/7. If I could find a partner that is, just clingy because she loves me and she loves doing things with me, then that's great. But yeah, a jealous and very self-conscious partner can be very devastating and dangerous on occasion. So I'm gonna
The
go with A.
naivety of youth.
What? I'm gonna go with A.
Ignore him. Just say your name. Say your
Yeah.
answer.
Okay, so everyone's gone on this
Yeah.
one. Except
You have it.
for me, and I know. I'm gonna have to go with A. I'd rather have a very clingy partner than a jealous partner.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, overall, a jealous partner, you essentially have no life.
Jealous women make me want to spear them.
That partner is gonna be on your ass all the time, wondering what's going on, and it becomes an area of control.
Call me when you
And-
leave work. We'll talk the whole way home. If at any moment where the call gets dropped, it's your fault and it's a fight. And fuck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
I
what
got-
are the odds that a jealous partner is going to give you under the desk team support?
Very seldom.
I got into a fight with an ex
No.
because I took my mom a birthday cake on a day that she wanted to hang out, and
Wow.
she would not let me she would not let me live it down at all.
That's my mother. Leave.
Yeah.
Just fuck off.
I don't understand.
It's my mother. She
Wait,
comes
wait,
before
wait.
you.
I'm gonna go fuck my mom.
Right.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
When did you move to
Alabama?
To West Virginia?
I used to tell her, I'm like, babe, when your birthday rolls around, I'll get you a cake too. But it's my mom's birthday. Like, let me do something for my mom. Christ.
Yep.
Or
No
you
one
could
should ever
move-
be jealous for you doing something with your mother.
Well, here's the fucked up
Exactly.
thing. I asked her if she wanted to come over and hang out at the beginning of the day. And she told me no. And then later on got mad at me because I went over there anyway.
and that in itself is also a form of jealousy in the aspect of too, you're not there for her or his disposal whenever they need you. That also is
Exactly.
jealousy. It falls under the jealousy. Again, it's that control.
Mm-hmm.
I hate controlling bitches. Fucking hate them.
I mean, the closest thing I ever came to that was there was a guy I dated who was very, very, very popular, and a lot of other girls didn't realize he had a girlfriend. So while they were like trying to hang all over him, I just walked up and took control. But that's about as close to jealous as I've ever gotten.
So would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb? We're going to go with
That's
Mr. Extra.
Which one is more fun? That's the question.
I'm gonna take A, because I am an extra in movies. I've done now multiple movies. Yeah, I don't give a shit about awards. I could fucking care less. But I would take A because it's fun being an extra. I'm assuming it's fun to be in the lead as well. But I'm gonna go with A.
Nate.
I'm gonna go with A. I like to imagine that as an extra, you can just have a lot more fun than the main star of said major motion picture because
Yep.
the camera's not on your ass 24/7. I would have picked B, but then again, if the movie is not, I mean, if it's like a bad movie that I could have fun in, I'd probably choose B. But I'm gonna go with A.
No,
I want to be a SWAT member with Darnell.
Yeah, you're like taking the role and the lead role in, let's say, a movie called Rust.
Oh no, thank you.
Is that an autobiography about iron?
No,
No,
dude, Alec
it-
Baldwin killed
that
that
was
chick on the set. Alec Baldwin
one where-
killed the chick on the set with a gun.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do remember
Arza.
that. Damn.
I'm gonna have to go with the lead in a box office bomb, because there have been careers that have been made from being a lead in a
I
box
fucking
office
knew he
bomb.
was gonna find a loophole. I fucking knew he was gonna find a loophole.
Darnell, what
It's
fucking loophole?
actually, yeah, I got it.
What
I'm gonna have to
loophole?
take Arza side on that. Arza side on that. That's
you.
not technically a
That's
loophole.
not a loophole.
That's not the
Sydney
question.
Sweeney. Yes, it is. Would I rather
No.
be a lead in a box office bomb or be an
And it
extra in an
stops there.
Oscar-winning movie?
And it stops
Yes.
there. It doesn't say box office bomb, but could have will have a better career because of it.
I know. I'm looking at the possibilities of these playing out. The odds are, because it says extra, not secondary or any kind, not even says it, whether you have a speaking role. If you're an extra, you might be just like some dude in the background walking across the street, right? So odds are you're not going to have any kind of role that's going to get any kind of notoriety or
Okay.
any kind of possibility of positioning. But if you
I'm
are
glad you brought that up.
Okay, yeah. Now your exposition is getting to loophole
Time out.
territory.
No. I'm glad you brought that up because you know what happened in the movie I was in this week? I was just an extra. I got in 2 featured scenes. One was even fucking reblocked and restructured to feature me.
And yes, that can happen. But Sydney Sweeney was the lead in a box office bomb.
Well, you're forgetting about the queen of box office bombs,
Time out.
Rachel Zegler.
Oh, time out. She was. Are you talking about Madam Web?
Yeah.
She was already a rising star before that point.
Yeah.
So you're adding stuff on top of it. You're finding loopholes.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I am not. I'm saying that
They're not
because- and
loopholes, they're
people-
logic trees.
People, yes, I'm branching out in the logical conclusion of this question.
You're
to
adding to B.
No, I am
because
not adding. I am not
You
adding
are.
to it. I am not.
You are.
I'm looking
because
at
it's-
the
no.
logical
Listen.
conclusion.
B says the lead in a box office bomb, not assuring a rising star, then lead in a box office bomb. It doesn't say that. It says lead in a box office bomb.
No, Darnell. No. And in all fairness, Darnell, it clearly you need to read in between lines because it says a lead in a box office. Would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-winning movie or the lead in a box office bomb that will then yield a very profitable career?
No, I never went. I never once said that. I'm just saying.
You did.
No,
You did say exactly that.
No, I did not. I did not say that.
You did.
No, I am saying that there's a higher possibility that something will
That's
come
not the
out
question. Which would you rather, A or B?
Next.
No, I am justifying my response, Darnell.
Just A or B.
B, because it offers a greater chance of something coming out of it.
Okay.
No, that's
Next.
the answer. You're not going to get anything past that. Nate.
No.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
You went already.
I already went. I already
Yeah,
went.
you went.
Oh, okay.
You went.
Hey, you want to know we're getting later into it, so I've been jumping around. So
It's Jay and Tiny.
Go ahead, Tiny.
I'll take B just because if I'm
You
the
have a better
lead in
chance of having a
box office
career.
bomb, I get a Razzie, so at least I get an award.
Yes.
She can be the next Halle Berry. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No, but if you're in a box office, but you're the lead in a box office, you at least get a Razzie. You get some type of award.
You know, while Darnell and Arza were having that lengthy exchange, I actually looked it up. Actors who made full-blown careers off of, starring in box office bombs.
Just posted the link.
Yeah, I just posted the link in the private chat.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Gwyneth Paltrow,
Mike Myers.
Jennifer
Jennifer
Not the
Aniston,
That's not the point.
Leonardo
Smith.
DiCaprio,
John
His first role was
Travolta.
Appearance 3.
Eddie
That is
Murphy.
not the point. Yeah, he was.
Jay, would you like to add any loopholes? And what's your decision on this?
It's not a loophole.
Cut and dry. Cut and dry. No loopholes. I'm going with A because I'm the same way. I'd rather be back in the shadows, not in the big limelight. I'm kind of like my favorite drummer Neil from Rush. I'd rather sit back in the back and just look at the fact that we did win an Oscar, and let's just enjoy that.
Right.
But be an extra.
And you see, my answer is A, but I like to have the spotlight on me. I love the fucking spotlight. I love the camera, but I'll take A in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
'Cause it's fun.
Darnell's an extra, and he dives in front of the camera with a gun. He's flipping the camera off as he goes by.
Get this man a contract.
Okay, so
This guy's an Oscar-worthy actor right here. Get him in.
so the introverted extrovert of myself would be going with A.
All four of us are in the back shooting each other with pellet guns just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's like the Spider-Man
I would
meme. We're all
have to- I
pointing at each other.
Mainly, I mean, while I think B would be a lot of fun, you would have all the perks of being it and have your own trailer and all of these extra parts because, again, it doesn't matter if in the end, okay, it bombed, but you have still all the fun production as being that lead.
Also,
But you're spending a lot of time there doing it. A could be just like a day.
The problem,
And then you get the entire lifetime go,
Yeah.
hey, you remember that guy that was running with Forrest Gump right behind you? There I was.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was
The-
me.
Well,
Okay,
so
I'd rather have that.
I watched Sinners today, and one of the guys in the movie I was with this week, he's the guy who's carrying ice with the big old black mustache. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I was talking to that dude. He told me that was him.
Oh, nice.
Right.
That's cool.
Well,
You get to,
the problem with B is you end up being Kate Winslet in the tank getting hypothermia. Meanwhile, as an extra, I'm that guy that falls off the side of the Titanic and hits the damn propeller on the way
people still
down.
talk about, and you get your own action figure.
And you didn't have to show your tits.
Although I would
You know,
like to do
I
that.
read somewhere that
I mean,
was actually,
granted, I was gonna say, of course, Darnell's not opposed to that. So
I read somewhere that was actually like the first scene they shot together was that. scene.
yeah.
Yeah, they had just met.
Hey, get it done and over with.
Yeah, so when Leonardo DiCaprio is looking at her like this in the movie,
He's like,
that's
whoa.
actually his actual reaction.
Oh my God,
Don't
it's a
look back.
woman on a Hollywood set. I'm just so used to casting couches with men.
He's used to Diddy parties.
Yep.
Oh.
Dude, Kate Winslet could still take her top off for me. I'd still be okay.
Mhm.
Modern
And
day
the
Kate
final
Winslet,
one
period.
of this evening.
All right.
Would you rather have a virtual assistant or a self-driving car? Oh, that was
Oh, this one's
easy.
easy.
I like it.
So we will start ladies first with Tiny.
Hey, totally different one. A virtual assistant. I'm actually trying to working on making an AI sidekick now. So
What is great about this question is that the two actually have become more of a reality, less than speculative.
Yeah.
Jay,
Same. I'd rather have a virtual assistant do all the freaking work in the background. Remind me, oh, you have to take your meds. Oh, you have a show coming up. You have to be at an appointment. I'd rather that. I want to drive the car. I don't
Yeah, I
want
like
some
to drive my own
computer
car.
driving it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy driving. So
Wait, stop.
Same.
Don't go any further. Don't go any further. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
yes, there are 6 of us.
Okay. No. I made a prediction. I made a prediction of what everyone's gonna choose right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Nate,
He's doing this strictly for ours, though. Let's be honest here.
No.
I'm hoping that Arza throws off the curve. Nate, go
I
ahead.
hope so too.
I already have somewhat of a virtual assistant. Her name is Mira, so I'm going with A. She's been helping me. She's been helping me flesh out Curse of Strahd quite a bit, and I'm very proud of her.
Darnell,
Oh, A, dude. Fucking A.
A, fucking A.
Fucking A. Are you Canadian, eh?
Fucking A, right? A.
okay, Arza.
I will say A because you can do a lot better with a virtual assistant. But let's be honest, any self-respecting virtual assistant could be uploaded to a Tesla.
I knew it. You fucking you called it, man.
There we
You
go.
fucking called
What
it.
is this loophole?
Holy.
You fuckers brothers.
I think we just broke
how many
Darnell.
questions did he basically come up and say I want both?
All
At
of
this
them.
point.
All of them.
No, not all of them.
Hold on.
All or none. All or none. All or neither.
I will defend him. There was at least one where he didn't.
I
Maybe
think that
one.
was the
He chose neither.
clingier jealousy.
He chose neither on that one.
I'm sorry, I'm just better at problem solving than you are, Darnell.
That's not the fucking game. That's not the fucking game. The game is what would you rather, not one. Not, let's see how I can not get either or how I can get both. It's which would you rather.
Or
Or
not both.
No, like guys, I was having for my Curse of Strahd players, I was having a conversation with it earlier, and it gave me stats for the attack that Mira used to. I mean that Alara used to destroy that entire town. I have actual stats for that attack now.
There you go.
You can only use
Hey,
it 6 times a
so-
year.
My answer would be based on the way I've answered already today would be the
Yeah.
virtual assistant.
Yep.
Because
Yeah,
even turning
you wouldn't
over
do
the
well
car,
driving car.
right? That's why I'm not a fan. Hey, you want if other people want to have self-driving cars? That's fine. I want control of that vehicle. For one thing, I love to drive. I enjoy driving. I don't want to turn it over. Okay, that everyone? Darnell,
So,
how did you guess? How
I
did
got
you
5
guess?
out of 6.
Yeah, let me
And,
guess.
no,
Ours-
hold on. I got 5.5 out of 6.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. 5.5. Yeah.
Arza's the one who I said he'd choose B, and he technically did choose B. So I'm 5.5 right out of 6.
Nice.
Although initially I thought Nate was going to
Sorry
choose B. My first thought was like the older people want the assistant, the younger kids want someone to drive for them. But then I remember Nate has his assistant for D&D, and I was like, oh, he'd rather that.
Mm-hmm. I like driving. The only time I hate driving is when people are just acting like dickheads on the road.
So all the
Yeah.
time.
Pretty much.
Not all the time.
Dude, I think everybody in California grew up watching Fast and Furious and think that's how you're supposed to drive. Like
It's not.
the amount of swerving in between it has no
Really?
purpose and needs nothing at all that I see
I
on
was-
the roads.
I was watching an
Signal
old
lights
Hop
are an option?
cartoon the other day, and I was like, man, this is awakening something in me.
A
I got
what
the need-
cartoon?
I get Hot Wheels.
Oh. You gonna fuck a car?
No, I got the need for
that'd be
speed.
Transformers.
My
Yeah.
mom just reminded me
That'd be
there was an interview about a woman about driving in California. It says, why doesn't anyone ever seem to use turn signals? She said, I guess it's more exciting that way.
Yeah.
Remember
You're
this?
supposed to
kids.
read their mind. Right?
Why
True
can't you
idiot.
read their
There
mind?
was- there was-
But you can't read their eyes either because they drive like this. Like nobody
Oh, no,
turns
there's
their
a-
head. It's freaky.
I mean, it was a quote. I've seen it. It was in a movie trailer from a movie back in the mid 2000s, late 2000s.
Okay.
Of the whole point of a woman that's driving with another guy with a guy in the car and all this stuff, and he goes and says, why aren't you using your turn signal? And her response is, I don't want other people knowing my business.
You know, there have been a lot of clips of that old show, Worst Drivers in Canada, going around. And
Sure.
the amount of people there who just simply do not understand the utility of a turn signal.
Yeah.
Well, my
Well,
wife
Well,
is
it is,
using-
I mean, hey, you want to know? It is an option. I mean, clearly, some vehicles don't come with them, and I hear
what?
BMW. Besides charging an extra subscription fee for your seat warmer,
Mhm.
also is including a subscription fee for turn signals. So expect more BMWs to not be using turn signals.
Mhm.
I can understand if you're like already in a turn
I
lane
thought
or
it was
something
Porsches.
like that. But
I've never seen a Porsche
Is it
use a turn
Porsche?
signal.
Yeah.
like I can
Well-
understand if you're already like in a turn lane or something, but at least use your turn signal to let me know that you're getting in the turn lane as opposed to just yanking over 3 lanes of fucking traffic to get to it.
Yeah.
I
I
hate
get
it.
off.
we
I
wouldn't
get
have
off.
all of
off-ramp.
these-
Good luck.
Then
The
we
worst
wouldn't
one
have
is-
all these dash cam videos that are on YouTube if people.
They give me
yeah.
anxiety.
Didn't do
I
that.
can't watch them. I used to watch them religiously. I can't do it anymore. It makes me too angry and gives me too much anxiety.
The worst one for me is when I'm going like 85, 90, and a 70. And the person in front of me is in the left
Why are you
lane,
going
so-
90 miles an hour in a 70 anyway?
Because it's an
The
empty
fuck is
road.
wrong with you?
Write him a ticket.
No,
Wait a
that's
minute.
jail. That's fucking
Okay.
jail.
The
Less
most
than
I
that.
hit, the most I hit on a major highway that's like 75 miles an hour is like 85, and that's only in like the fast lane.
Yeah,
And
you're
then I'm
passing
usually back
somebody.
over, and
No,
then
you
I'm
guys are
usually
driving
back
too slow.
over in the slow lane.
You guys are driving too slow.
75 miles an hour.
Most in
75 to
Texas-
80
in
is
Texas,
too
most
slow.
people go 90. In Texas, most people go 90, 95.
They
This
have
is a
an
road that
interstate in
most-
Texas.
This is a road that has very few exits. Really, the only goal is to go from a major city to small city, just straight
Okay.
line shoot.
Okay, so let
144 kilometers an hour. Holy.
let me let me throw some out here to you, and just all we're kidding, but I've had to scrape a person up off the road for going that fast because their tire blew and the car went.
Damn. Yeah.
Especially the
Just
front
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No.
that'll
If this-
fucking you're not gonna see tomorrow.
For me,
Nah.
if the
I've
speed
done-
limit, if the speed limit's like 70, I'm doing 75 in the slow lane. If I need to pass somebody, I usually speed up to 80, and then I'm usually back over in the slow lane anyway.
No, but you
Makes
know,
sense.
what
This
I was
is
gonna
how
say
I
though
drive.
Is the worst one is when I'm doing that, going down the left lane. There are very few cars in front of me, and there's very few cars in the road in general. And some jackets is going like 75 in the left lane.
Oh, they're going to speed limit.
Not in the speed
No,
lane.
actually, they're
bro.
going 5. They're going 5 miles over.
And I
5
signal,
over.
I'm going to get over to the right. I'm going to pass you on the right. Then you get the fuck over once I'm done because you're blocking up the
That's
lane of
unsafe.
traffic.
That's unsafe.
And then they
It
merge
used to
over
be
without
illegal to
using their
pass on the
signal.
right.
I've seen
It's
people
unsafe
get
to pass.
over
It's unsafe to
passed
pass
on
on
the
the
right.
right.
I've seen people get pulled over for it here.
You should slow down and get behind them, and then they'll move.
No,
That's
they
safer.
usually don't. They usually will not move until somebody passes them. I've done this drive like a dozen
I've been
plus
driving-
times.
I've been
And my
driving the
experience is
entire.
down that road is that nobody moves lanes unless you pass them.
Okay, so myself and these two have been driving probably the entire length of your life. We know. But it's still unsafe to pass them on the right because I've passed people and they're like, oh, they see like the back bumper of me going around. Like, oh, car's coming, and they'll get in my lane.
Yeah.
Like
But that's
this
what I
is very
just said
unsafe.
was what I was criticizing.
But it's as unsafe as driving 90 miles an hour in a 70. That's even more dangerous.
It's a straight line road with very few turns.
Okay.
3 to 2
It's not
lanes,
the Autobahn.
usually
It's not the
rarely-
Autobahn.
I'm gonna back up a few minutes. I scraped someone off the road for going that fast, losing a tire, and the car was obliterated.
I think I've only gone that fast.
And,
Maybe
and other cars were damaged because parts flew and hit other cars.
Freak accident that would
Well,
probably
why is it
cause
okay on the
relatively
Autobahn?
similar
No.
damage.
No, not a freak accident. That
A
shit
tire
happens
blowing is
frequently,
a
dude.
freak accident.
No,
Not necessarily. The speed
No,
rating
you-
on that tire
speed
do
kills,
not be
man.
that high.
You don't realize the heat that's in an engine and a vehicle, especially going that fast. The metal rubbing together, the friction, the heat is building up. I've seen new cars that shit happens to.
Yeah.
Like the friction's too much, and the axle breaks, the tire goes flying, or the fucking piston shoots out the engine, and then other parts start breaking. It happens a lot. A lot.
I think I've only hit 90,
It's
95,
just something they
maybe
don't show on
one
the news on a
time.
regular
And
basis anymore, so nobody thinks about it.
It's not catchy enough for the news anymore.
if I'm
In the 80s, there was crashes everywhere on the news.
if I'm going that fast, I usually got my caution lights on. Like I don't drive like that unless it's like a fucking emergency.
Yeah.
And it has
Makes
to be a like literal emergency.
That's another thing. Caution lights are not for that reason.
Okay.
They're to indicate
A hazard.
You normally put your
you're
flashers
a
on
hazard.
because you're going to go slower than
Yeah.
traffic
or
because there's
you're on
something
the side.
wrong.
Yeah, they're not to like, you see my flashes? I'm
People
going fast.
generally aren't
You
gonna
need to
know-
move. You're not supposed.
They likely aren't going to
not
notice the
different.
flashers from behind.
That's
them.
actually
They notice
illegal
them
to
first.
do that. Get pulled over. Oh, well, you get your flashes on. I'm hurting this way for this. That's no. The flashes are not how to help you. You're not an emergency vehicle. You don't. Flashes are not for that.
That's my mistake then. No, like
No,
literally.
I'm
I've had-
not lecturing you. I'm just saying.
well, no, I've had people tell me that like if you're gonna drive that fast, then you need to have your caution lights on.
Nope.
I stand.
No.
I'm correct. I stand corrected.
But no, I've been told this by people, and from my experiences driving, and I understand that you've been driving longer than I have, probably longer than I've been alive. But in my experience, speed is not the problem up to a certain extent. It is the level. It is how you drive while speeding. And 90 in a 70 is not that extent where it's dangerous.
It is absolutely fucking dangerous. Even
If
in a
anything-
straight line.
In a way that is
Even in a
unaware.
straight line.
Anything 30 kilometers an hour over here, instant license removal for a year. And you're
Damn.
paying like $3,000 in fines.
So
And that's
Um,
and that's a lot of money in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
it's $5 for us, but yeah.
Yeah,
So-
$5 for you guys.
So if you took one of you two or Tiny can remember, there was a guy trying to break the land speed record driving in a straight line
Oh,
in
yeah.
a very new motorcycle.
I think there's
Car?
video. I think there's video of this. I think I've seen this.
There's been a bunch
Yeah.
of there's been a
Straight
bunch
line,
of horrible
going
crashes trying to increase
fast.
the land speed record.
Hey, you did is exact conditions you just gave. Fucking vehicle disintegrated.
One wrong move, like a separated
One thing goes
tire.
wrong. Yeah, one thing.
A
A rock in the
separation
wrong
and a
place.
cord. Boom.
A rock in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Or
A gust of
loophole in the road.
wind.
So act of God, is what I said.
A part fell on the road. Like the wife the other day, we went over top of something, and like it sounded like it made damage underneath the vehicle. If it had blown the freaking tire at 90 miles an hour, we're in
Or
the
come
ditch
up
car wheeled.
or popped up and went into the engine, or popped up and went into something. Bro, that is
you,
like, so.
you lose a front tire.
The most dangerous drivers on the road are drivers who drive slow. Absolutely. Second most dangerous are the ones who drive exceedingly fast.
And the ones
That
that
is-
piss me off the most that are the ones that are extremely defensive drivers, overly so damn cautious on the road, especially when it is hazardous conditions
Well,
that are the ones that are
yes.
causing the accidents.
That's
And
what
to be clear,
that
when
falls on
I'm
the slow
going
drivers.
fast, I
Yeah.
slow down a lot. I'm not consistently going 90 miles an hour. I'm usually dropping down to about 85 to 80, depending on the conditions. Sometimes even dropping down to 70 if it calls for it.
But-
I'm
okay.
I'm keeping a constant 3 cars gap on the highway. I'm doing all these things to keep it as safe as possible. It's just I have to drive for an hour, over an hour in a direction. I'm going to try.
Dude, my wife drives an hour and a half to work every day, an hour and a half home. She doesn't do 90. She knows it's unsafe.
Okay,
No.
so in the next
Not all
episode
roads.
of Two Sibs and a Pig, we're gonna go. Oh, he's gonna go. Rules of the road.
Yep.
But with that in mind, we are gonna go around the horn and find out where people can find my panelists next. Thank you all for joining. We will start with Nate. Nate, where can people find you next?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. You can find me on Twitter at Full Metal Nate. You can also find me on YouTube at Full Metal Nate. I post some D&D content over there, working on getting Curse of Strahd back up and running. I'm very excited about that. I am now also on Rumble. You can find me over there at Full Metal Nate as well. I just did a video talking about Strahd and his real world history and in-game history. So if that's something you're interested in hearing about, you can go check that out either on Rumble or YouTube. And if I'm not doing any of that, I usually try to be here when I can, or I'm over on Sean's channel. Need to get back into the Rogues Gallery because I miss doing that and I miss everybody. But yeah, that's it for me.
Hey, ours.
Well,
Where
we're
can
not
you find me
getting lectured at or insulted by the people over here. You can.
I
find
want
me-
you to live.
and I will.
You must live.
You can find me at ArzaChats on YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok, and X, where I post daily videos most of the time. 10 to 20 minute video just covering a news story and then giving my personal perspective, about 50-50. And then a 1 minute short summarizing that video if 20 minutes is too long for you, or you really don't like my voice and want to hear the quick deets of it. And for shows, I'm details.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
As for shows, I rarely know where I'm going to be until I get the invite link, but I do know I will be on Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass tomorrow morning at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
11 a.m. PST.
Yeah.
Oh,
Normal.
I only give you God's time.
Well,
Tiny,
if you do
where-
that, that's not the morning. That's the afternoon.
Well,
Tiny, where can people find you next?
You can find me here next Friday. And you can find me on Tuesdays for Nerds on the News here as well. When Curse of Strahd comes back, I will be doing D&D. And I think that Pop Culture Patriots with myself, Horny Elf, and Drew the Outstanding will be coming back in another week or two as well. And that will be on Sundays at 4:30 Pacific. Other than that, you can find me on X at Won't Be Boxed. And anything I'll be doing is always on there.
Jay, where can people find you next?
Well, again, like everyone else here has mentioned, you can find me here Friday nights as well. It's always a blast to hang out with these awesome peeps here that we have. And you can also find me at Hot Wax on Rumble. I will be getting some videos. I've been playing around with some, actually, Discord, doing some live streaming through Discord. It's really actually kind of unique to do. We were playing around with it last night, and it might actually work out better for me. And also, you can find me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Either one of you two. Yeah, you can find me on there. I post some different music clips that interest me. Like today, we had an interesting one with Brian Johnson back when he was singing like a normal singer, and then 5 years later, he's all of a sudden doing screaming with AC/DC. It intrigued me. So we'll be talking about music, talking about albums, reviews. That's where you'll find me there. And I'll hand it off to the Squiggle, Mr. Squiggles.
You can find me on X. I won't call it Twitter at Darnell Quigley. No E before the Y. You can find me here on Rumble at Darnell Quigley, spelled just like this, but all one word. When you're there, go check out the Darnell Dandy Sham Records channel. I have a ton of AI music posted there. Just put a new song up last night. Cowboy Palace is about a man going to a gay cowboy bar and is fucking hilarious. Got about 30 more songs ready to go. I just created 2 tonight while on some panels. Probably have another one created when I go back to Sean's show a little bit. You can find me Monday night on Pop Culture Beatdown with Killer Games Cast on his channel. Tuesday with Third Railify the news. If I can get to here with doing Nerds Covering the News, I come here. Depends on if the kids are being assholes or not. Also Tuesday night I do AI Dungeon with Moxie Dame. Thursday I do AI Dungeon with Killer Games Cast again and Gina. And then two Civs and a Pig after that. Myself, Iron Oxide, and Sammy 3Pete. Where we go over body cam videos and give you the inside scoop. And on Friday I am at Sean's Third Railify channel, and then here with insert title here to finish off my week. So, and coming up, I spoke to Moxie Dame. She will, and I'm hoping she's mentioned this to you. We'll be bringing back a table read for Star Trek soon. I don't know when. On a Sunday
It's
evening.
next Sunday, the 29th.
Cool.
At
Next
9
Sunday.
Pacific.
29th at 9 Pacific.
Awesome.
You want to laugh your ass off? Go check that out.
Yeah, we take an episode from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and everyone gets a part, and we read it. And some people read it seriously, and some people read it a little less seriously. And we all have a very good time, and the chat gets involved, and everyone's laughing. It's a great time.
Well, thank you everyone for checking out this episode of Insert Title here, episode 31. It was our game night. Thank you to my panelists for joining in. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, places you'll be able to find me next tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. over on Sammy 3P's channel. We have Cavecast, where we did not do it last week. We will be doing it this week, where we will be talking about Damian Wayne. Then at 11 a.m. I am overproducing Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass at 11 a.m. over on his channel. On Tuesday, I have Nerds Covering the News at 6 p.m. PST. Wednesday, we have the new show over on Devil's channel, Devil Made Me Do It, which is Make Me a Sandwich, where I produce that show over on that channel. Then on Fridays, I am on rotating schedule with the Rogues Gallery, and then I'm over on Sean and Gina's stream, which then leads into Insert Title here, which starts at 9:30 PST, 12:30 a.m. EST. Thank you everyone for joining us. Everyone's links are in the description. Make sure you follow them. Give them some love over there. So we will see you all next week. I have the raid set up. We're raiding back over to Sean's channel. You all have a great night, and we will see you next Friday.